So I knew what I was getting going into this.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all knew what we were getting going into this. We were getting more Borderlands with some quality of life improvements that were sorely missing, and sorely missing in a lot of loot shooters. And they've made the quality of life improvements that are just fantastic.
Yeah.
It's not all fucking gravy though. I'm gonna pick some nits. Yeah,
pick
man.
Some nits.
The inventory and the menu screens in general are fucking trash, man. On everything. I've seen people play it on PC, and when they go into the Echo menu, it locks up. And then everything comes. I don't need animations in my fucking inventory menu.
It does. I hadn't come across it too much, but then you mentioned it, and then now that you're bringing it up again, yeah, like sometimes like there's a little bit of a hiccup. And then it loads.
If you're too close to a wall, you can't open the menu because the menu is opening in the world also.
Yeah.
And that's fucking obnoxious. That does not need to be happening.
I haven't done that yet, but yeah. I haven't tried that yet.
When I boot the game up, because you know me, I always go back to Sanctuary. When I boot the game up, it boots you right at the fast travel point. And if you hit the trackpad, it'll say can't open Echo menu. If you literally take a step forward, it'll open up.
That's dumb.
It's the worst. The fucking worst.
So I've noticed the menus loading a little slow. I haven't noticed that stuff. And then the other, I guess, glitch, but it was whatever. At one point, I was going into some area and one dude was fully like fucking floating, like, but he was shooting his gun. I'm like, what's happening? But,
yeah.
Well,
there are some enemies that fly later on. You'll get
I know,
to those.
but yeah, but this
is not
was
one
not
of them.
it. Was not it.
So there's a character in Borderlands 2. He's a respawnable mini boss. His name is Savage Lee, and on every console, PC, Xbox, even in the VR version of Borderlands 2, every once in a while when you kill him, he'll just take the fuck off. And there's a streamer I watch who calls it this. Anything that flies up in the air, he says, "Oh, that must be part of the Savage Lee space program," because there's a lot of things in Borderlands 2, and it has to do with the engine. It's the Unreal Engine. It's what it is.
Yeah.
But the inventory, I don't like the icons. I wish it was a list again. I love the switching of missions on the fly.
That's awesome.
And the secondary fire being on the down button.
Not having to think about picking up everything. It just
sucks to you.
Sucks to you.
Hitting up to ping something. I haven't had a chance to use that in real life yet because I haven't been able to play with anybody. But the ping system, like all that being on the D-pad is cool. The thing I do miss though is my favorite thing about Borderlands was like, okay, my assault rifle is on the up, my submachine gun is on the left, my pistol's on the right, my shotgun or my fourth weapon, my least important one that I'm barely going to use is on the down button. And that's how I didn't use triangle to switch weapons. I would switch using the D-pad in Borderlands 1 and 2. You can't do that anymore because there's stuff on the D-pad now.
Right.
So,
the secondary fire option is down.
Yeah, and like I said, the switching missions is left and right, and the ping system is up. So I can't do that anymore. So you have to toggle through it with the triangle button, which is fine, but when I have a certain setup where I've got an enemy with a shield, so I have my electric weapon to bring their shield down, and then I have an explosive weapon to do the actual damage to their health.
Yeah.
And I just got to learn what slots are what now. What's 1, 2, 3, and 4 on 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. Because I've had problems where I've gone down in a boss battle because I've tried to take down a shield and then switch to my weapon to do the meat of my damage. And I switch to the wrong weapon because that's the next one in line. And I go down because the weapon I have there isn't like... But the way I would set it up was, my electrified weapon would be my top, which is my assault rifle. And then my... explosive weapon would be my left, which would be a submachine gun.
A little bit easier.
And it was like, okay, up, left, and it's fast hot swapping, quick.
Yeah.
And I could go right back to my electric weapon. But this one, if electric is in 1 and my explosive is in 2, and I would need to go back to my electric, I gotta toggle to get back. And that is, that's a downgrade, man.
Yeah.
But those small things aside, it looks great. All the cars feel good because I've got 3 different types of modes of transportation now. They all feel different and awesome. The side mission stuff of being able to hijack cars and take them to Ellie so you can have that new kind of car, as a build is great.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Dude, I love the game. I mean, I haven't stepped back into the world of Borderlands for a while, even though you had been encouraging me and pushing me to. It just wasn't because I didn't want to.
Yeah.
The game that I've been playing the most before this had come out is The Messenger. And it was just because, I don't know, I love video games.
Yeah.
I'm always going to love video games. I'm not going to retire from video games like somebody we know that, now streams more than anybody in this room. But anyways, it just, that just happens. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't feel like doing that right now. I just want to kind of sit here. I don't want to play a video game. It always sounds dumb, like I'm too lazy to play a video game, but it's there.
Yep.
And dude, I've been playing The Messenger. Sorry, but to the point where I'm collecting all it's been a while now, but the power things, like I'm doing all this stuff. But anyways, Borderlands came out. I'm like, okay, I gotta play this, and dude, it's been fun jumping back in. Like, it took a little bit for me to, not a lot, but I'm just like, oh yeah, that's what this is like. And then I always feel this way, but it's fucking overwhelming sometimes though. Like, half the time I'm just like, I don't really know what I'm fucking doing. Like, by trashing this gun versus keeping this gun, I'm just like, I'm looking at this like, yeah, okay. And then there's so many different types of guns, obviously, that sometimes I kind of fucking forget what I have and what I don't have, and I'm good about it. And then, I'm having fun having a lot of money. And so, even if it's something I don't want, I tend to just try to pick it up and go sell it at the ammo dump anyways, just to do it.
First thing I did was upgrade my backpack when I got to Sanctuary.
That's what I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
So I'm going to do it again, but my upgrade now costs $27,000 to get 3 more slots, and I'll have 28 slots total. And I was like, fuck, that's a lot of money for only 3 slots.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot of money. But, yeah, man, it's fun being in that world again. We talked about the thing that's awesome about Borderlands, and I think that sets it apart, is just that the world is so, it's such a stylized game with so much personality, and the characters just,
they pop off the screen,
it's
man.
Fucking awesome. It's cool navigating that world.
Even the animals of the world pop off the screen.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know.
Can I say one thing real quick? I don't
want to fit it. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
The Skags?
Yeah.
They were fine. Mindless enemies to kill to get XP in the first 2 games. They made them act and sound way too much like dogs for my taste now, to where if I come up across Skags, I'd leave. I don't engage unless I have to. I'm not joking, man.
No, I hear, dude.
And then oh god, I'm sorry.
Every time that happens, I look over to see if my dog is gonna react, and then I look at Annie to see if she's gonna be like, just fucking what'd you do?
Right?
Yeah. I'm with you.
Oh, too much.
I am with you.
It's too much.
I have still fired off at them because it took me a bit, but the more dude, that sound, I don't like it. I do not like it. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I think when I got to Sanctuary, I think it was 3-something in the morning, and I was just like, this is a good stopping point. I should get to sleep. And I just haven't had a chance to go back to play. The other day I was gone all day long, and then yesterday, I don't know what happened yesterday, but yesterday, I started drinking late at night. I wanted to play Zelda, if anything. I didn't do either. But, dude, I'm loving the game. Yeah. And I mean, let's look, we just haven't played together yet. The first time you really asked me was yesterday. But otherwise, there's been times where we've both been playing at the same time, and I'm half expecting. And I was almost like, no, don't do it. Just don't. I was like, Mike's just going to fucking join my game. I'm like, no, just leave me alone right now. And it's not that, but I am
you can't. It's by default set to invite only.
Okay. Cool. So. No, I'm just kidding. I obviously do want to play with you. I feel like when we do play, part of me just wants to start something new. Because I kind of want to play.
So, I want to do that, but I want to jump into your game because I want to see what that's like.
I mean, let's try.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to start a run through as a Siren.
Yeah.
Because those end up always being, I never start as a Siren, but they end up being my favorite characters in the games. So, I want to do a run as a Siren. So I think we can do that, where you pick Flak or Mose or, not Siren, because I'm going to go Siren. You pick Flak or Mose, and I'll run the Siren, and we'll see what that's like.
Yeah. No, let's do it. I mean, let's try it. And I'm not saying we can't. It's just there was that joke when Ben was playing Borderlands 2 with you, and you were just showing him everything, and he's like, "Is this what it's like to play Bloodborne with
Yeah.
me?" And it's just like, I like playing with you, but I mean, the first playthrough, it's kind of like I feel like I'm gonna miss something a little bit if I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it, but I will. Like we could try it. Let's
Yeah.
try it out. You know. But it is fun to absorb that experience.
Yeah.
You know.
Dude, we don't even have to use headsets or mics or anything if you just like, but I just want to
I mean, yeah,
jump
that could be
in
cool, too.
and feel.
No, let's do it. Let's
and
totally
see
do
what
it.
that cooperative mode is like.
Let's definitely try it.
Yeah.
Let's definitely try it. We could do some side missions or something.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I'm being I'm not gonna be that particular
There's
about it.
a couple of boss battles. You're gonna be like, Mike, I need your help, because I was like, fuck, I need someone's help.
Yeah, but then you got it.
But then I just fucking grinded
You
on.
just did it.
On one particular boss, I grinded for about 3 hours trying to figure out what the fuck was the thing I needed to do. That's the other thing. Some of the bosses are so well done. Like, I just fought one last night that is an arena boss, like an arena style boss, like an old school Borderlands 1 arena. And it felt so fucking good. But there's one that's a side quest earlier in the game. After you go to your second planet, that you pick up from Moxie,
Yeah.
that it's fucking impossible. Like, I got to it and I was like, oh, it's a guy with a shield like mouthpiece. I'll be able to do that just fine.
Yeah.
But this one is in an arena that's a lot smaller than the mouthpiece arena. His name is Kilovolt.
Okay.
Okay? So if you come across the mission for Kilovolt, I can't beat it. I have not been able to beat it yet. And I'm way over leveled for that boss battle.
All right, I'll let you know when I hit it.
But when you get there, I want to go in and do it with you.
We'll have to do it, yeah.
Because you know what the rad fucking thing is about that? If you jumped into my game and we wouldn't do this because it would be fucking stupid, but you did story missions with me, or even if you do side quests with me, when you got to those missions in your game later, it would say, hey man, you've already done this. You have we've already gotten the rewards for this. You've done all this. You've heard the story. You've seen the cutscene. Do you want to do this anywhere or do you want to skip it? Which is like, why the fuck haven't games been doing this since the beginning? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's
I didn't know that.
Like, so if I was like, you know, night one, Bryce, I need help with Kilovolt. I just need an extra body in here to pull aggro while I unload on him from behind.
Yeah.
Because that's how we roll.
Yeah.
You would jump in and do that, and then you would get the rewards and everything for it. And then when you got to Kilovolt and picked up that mission from Moxie, it would say, hey, you've already got credit for this. Do you want to do it again or do you want to skip it?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. I like that. You brought up the shield. Guys with the shield.
Yeah.
So what's the side mission? It's not Mouthpiece, but there's a little side mission. I think it's like the dump. I don't know. It's early on, and Ellie wants us to go kill somebody, and the secondary thing is like shoot him in the ass too.
Yeah.
Who is that guy? Do you remember? Anyways, that guy.
Yeah. Did you get it?
I fucking shot that dude in the ass so many times that it never popped off. I don't know what. Yeah, like I'm like I waited. I deliberately. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it, and like I'm like, there's no way, dude. That bullet went right up your BH.
Yeah.
Like, this is bullshit.
So I didn't intentionally get that. I was unloading on him, and he staggered and turned around.
Yeah.
And I unloaded an entire clip into his
That's what I
beehole.
did.
And she goes, like, the dialogue after, she's like, thanks for shooting him in the beehole. I didn't know you had it in you. Or something like, it's like this funny little dialogue thing. Yeah.
And I was trying to get it, and like I noticed that too. I'm like, oh, he's gonna turn around and start taunting me with his ass, and that's when I'm gonna fire off. And didn't happen.
Yeah. Really? Oh, that's a bummer.
I don't know why. Like,
you
I
don't
was
get
so mad
anything
about it.
extra.
No, it's fine. But it's just like
it's an optional thing.
It's funny. I'm the person that says like, oh, I don't really give a shit about trophies and all this other stuff, but I could be a completionist in certain ways with things like that.
So you're on Sanctuary.
Yes.
Did you do the VR mission? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
The coloring, the blue, burnt my eyes.
Really?
Like, I was like...
Oh, yeah, it was kind of...
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Like, I went into the accessibility options and changed my reticle colors because of that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely...
And I'm not colorblind or color sensitive,
right.
But man, was it a bit much.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't bug me that much. I don't know.
Did you like that line where he goes, you know, VR is so cheap to do now. Everybody's doing it. people would just build worlds in VR and then just stay there, which is weird because most people just stay in worlds that already exist for like 7 years.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck you, Vaughn, because that's what I've been doing since Borderlands 2. I've been literally playing that game for 7 fucking years. That was
funny.
Right at you.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
No, I made sure, like, when you sent a picture, like, of how, like, early on when you, like, what level, you were, like, level 14 and you showed everything, like, what you'd completed and what you had done. We were like, I got it to where like, oh, this is exactly what Mike has done so far. Because like, I do that stuff. Like maybe I'm not a trophy whore or whatever you want to call it. There's nothing wrong with you like to get trophies. But I definitely am someone now that like I try to explore every nook and cranny of a place and open up everything. Yeah. And I want to do like the extra little thing that they say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like that in Borderlands 2. There's a mission where you have to kill 4 assassins. But you have to kill them with specific gun types.
We did that.
Yeah.
We definitely, because I think I wanted to do the same thing.
And you don't get anything extra for it.
No, but it's just like you just want to do it, you know.
So Reese, there was a big hubbub about Reese in the game because it's not voiced by Troy Baker, who did the voice in Tales from the Borderlands, and they said, quote, like they said, number 1, he turned it down, and then number 2, the way we use him, I don't think it will matter to people as much. So I'm not at the end of the game by any means. But as of now, it not being Troy Baker fucking sucks. The guy's not bad, and the way they write the character is fine, and all the dialogue is really well done. But it not being the voice I know from Tales from the Borderlands, which is a game I fucking loved.
Yeah.
It really sucks.
That does suck. And like I said, I know I brought this up before too, but like I can tell that Claptrap is voiced by somebody different. I know you said you couldn't, but I feel like I kind of.
You can't.
I'm not wrong about that, right? No. Voiced by somebody else.
But if you didn't know that it was someone different, because of the way the voice is digitized and modulated, you would have just thought, oh, they pitched it up a little, or they pitched it down a little. Probably. So. But yes, it's a different guy.
Yeah.
And it's fine because the writing is still the same.
Yeah. What was the story with that?
That was the dude who doesn't work there anymore, and he wanted more money than they were offering.
That's right.
Then he called Randy Pitchford a trash human being.
I remember.
Some shit.
I remember that story.
And everybody jumped down Randy Pitchford's throat, only hearing one side of the story, and whatever.
Yeah.
What the fuck ever.
Sorry, I started, dude. My brain is so scattered. Like I was listening to that, but then suddenly I started thinking about high pitch Eric again. It just like stream of cut, like it just went there. Sorry,
that's
fine. Okay, go ahead.
So, without spoilers, I finally came into contact with a character last night that I've been dying to come in contact with in this game.
I already know,
and I'm so glad they're there.
Yeah.
I also want to talk about how the writing for the game, everybody talks about diversity in video games and not just being a straight white male character, right? So we've got Zane, who's a white male, yes, but he's Irish. You've got Flack, who is a non-binary robot.
Yeah.
Doesn't identify as he or she.
Nope.
And even in their description, it's they and their, which I think is fucking awesome. Very cool. Very cool. There's a character in the game that is low-key written in part 2 as being gay. But you don't they don't make a big fucking deal about it. And when that character comes back into this game, they don't necessarily make a big deal out of it, but it's part of a story mission. And not in like a here's the gay character for the game. It's literally, hey, can you save so-and-so? Like, the love of my life. And it's like just a throwaway line like that. And and I totally forgot about that character being written that way. And I was like, was it that way the whole time? Because I vaguely remember that, and I went back and looked it up. And yeah, Anthony Birch wrote this character. And according to Anthony Birch, canonically, yeah, this character is gay.
He still writes for them?
No.
Oh.
Borderlands 2.
Gotcha.
He wrote that character that way, and it was not a part of the character. That was just a bullet point in his building of that character.
Yeah.
And they never went over the top with it, and I love that they stuck with that with 3 and didn't go over the top with it.
So you don't have to, like, don't make a big deal about it.
It's not the thing that defines them. It's just part of their character.
I mean, it's the stuff, again, like, I hate diversity for diversity's sake. You know what I mean? Like, when you were talking about Ghostbusters earlier, and it's just like, I mean, why does it have to be a girl cast? You know what I mean? Like, that's fine, and I don't have a problem with women doing that, but it's just like, it felt forced, because we live in a world right now where girls can do everything, which it's great, but just don't have it feel forced. Like, don't do it just to do it. Don't just have, like, a token black guy in something just to have it, or an Hispanic person, or whoever. Like,
yeah, but that's in Borderlands too. Like, that's also in Borderlands, but but again, it's not like it's not their defining trait.
Yeah,
it just happens to be
right,
and that's what I love about it.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of hemming and hawing about the writing of Borderlands 3 and how it's too over the top and it's not politically correct and it's bad and it's 12-year-old, 13-year-old humor and like humor is completely subjective. If you don't like that, fine. But the minute you start to attack me for enjoying it is the minute I'm going to attack back.
Right. And what I'll say too is, why is fucking Borderlands, a game where you do a bunch of ridiculous stuff anyways, why is that game supposed to be politically correct? Why? Why does that have to be politically correct?
And the funny thing about it is, they do have characters in that universe that are written over the top for the specific reason of pointing out how fucking stupid it is.
Yeah.
Mr. Torg in the pre-sequel and in the DLC for Borderlands 2 is like super over the top, woo, broy explosion man. And like there's when there's a character in Borderlands the pre-sequel that is a gay character, and she's like, yeah, it's uncomfortable because Torg's always coming on to me. I'm like, I've already told him, hey, no, I'm not into that. But it doesn't stop him. And then he hears this and he goes, friend zoned. And then he comes in and he does his whole shtick about, I understand that friend zone is blah, blah. And like, it's a very funny line on how it's not the other person's problem because they don't like him. It's his problem. And it's really well written, but it's also written in a comedic way.
Yeah.
And you can do both things. And I think Borderlands does a really good job of doing both things. We talked about the stuff with Lilith at the beginning where we were pissed. And I was like, oh, they better not fucking roll in me.
Oh, God, yeah.
And they didn't. But man.
I was I'm like, God damn it.
I was so angry.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm only 3 hours into this game.
But that's good though.
Yeah.
Because they've established the heels in the game.
And they've also established that nobody is fucking safe.
Yeah.
So
that was good stuff right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I'm not looking to play a politically correct version of Borderlands. Like, I just don't get that when people.
I think the best way to talk about it is Paul Sage, the director, and Randy Pitchford always talked about, like, there was something specific that they changed in Borderlands 2. And I can't remember what the mechanic was, but it was a mechanic that they changed for Borderlands 2. And I think it was the marking as junk stuff that they added to Borderlands 2. And some people were like, oh, why did you what was the impetus for adding that? And he's like, because it's not fun to go one by one through your inventory and sell your guns one by one. Why can't I just mark it all as junk and hit one button and it's gone?
Yeah.
And like, I think that's the whole vibe of Borderlands. Is like, well, is it fun? No? Then we don't fucking need it.
Right.
But you know what's not really fun? Their fucking menu system. They need to overhaul it, man. They've said, hey...
It's very laggy.
And they're like, hey, we understand, we get it, we're working on it. It's not going to come right away, but we are going to fix the lagginess and we're going to fix the menus.
Good.
So that's great. Let's see, is there anything else other, like, negative? I don't think there is.
I mean, I don't have a negative yet, other than sometimes I think it can be overwhelming. Because, like, sometimes, like, the RPG-ness of the game...
The skill tree stuff.
Sometimes, yeah, just kind of, like... Because I actually am still... I started going down one a little bit. Like, not to a point where it's time to respec or anything like that.
Oh, I've respec twice.
But I'm just like, have you?
I'm a level 22 and I've respec twice.
That's crazy. And so, like... but it's more just like, is this the way... I don't know. It's actually kind of weird. I figured the one that's the skill tree that sounded the most appealing to me would immediately jump out, and it kind of didn't. Like, they all just were kind of either a lot of them left me feeling kind of meh, or it would have one thing that was like.
That's the problem with Zane that I think people are really getting into.
Then that's
it's
probably
like,
what it is.
There's
then.
so many options with Zane.
Yeah.
That you don't immediately get pulled into one or the other.
And that's where I'm at.
Because Zane, you can have 2 action skills, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that's overwhelming right there.
Yeah. But yeah, just that, and then again, like kind of remembering what I have versus what I don't have, or like I find a gun that's got awesome accuracy, but its fucking strength is shit.
Yeah, that's the thing I wanted to transition to is weapons. Have you found a weapon that you just are going to be bummed about getting rid of when you're leveled out of it?
Not quite. I mean, there's some that you favor.
I've got one.
Yeah, but I don't think I have that yet. I might be using the gun right now. That was one of our perks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was liking that. But yeah, like I don't know. And I mean, I'm sure they come later, but then you realize, at least it feels like there's no perfect gun.
No.
One gun will have something that's fucking fantastic. Like again, it could have like 90% accuracy, but its strength is shit.
I had a TDR pistol that had like 35 round clip, and the TDR guns explode when you throw them.
Yeah.
And I was unloading a bullet and chucking it and doing massive damage. Unloading one bullet, chucking it, big explosion, smaller explosions, I was like, this is the perfect gun.
Yeah.
But it chews through your ammo, and then I have not sold it yet. And it is a level 11 gun, and I'm a level 22, and I have not sold it yet because I refuse to. I don't use it, but it's just sitting there.
It's just there.
I have an assault rifle that's a Torg assault rifle, and it's got select fire on it. Mm-hmm. And one of them is contact. It says contact. So it's like the Torg weapons, they're not hit scan. They're projectiles that fly to your enemies.
Right.
And as soon as they hit, they blow up and do damage. The other one is called sticky, and that one, you unload an entire clip into somebody, then when you reload, they all fucking explode. And they do damage to that person and people around them if they're close enough. That's a level 17 gun that I've been using for the last 5 levels, and I refuse to fucking swap out right now.
Nice.
Because it's hard to use right now because I'm getting to higher levels with higher health and shields.
Yeah.
But man, to unload 35 rounds and then... But the other negative is... So this is the only negative of it, is it's semi-auto. So I literally have to be like, oh god, that hurts. And then I hit the reload button, and then it's, and I was like, oh, that was worth it. So worth it.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the only 2 guns I've come across where I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna be so bummed when I outlevel these guns.
But yeah, man, I mean, I like, it's not so much a complaint, but yeah, sometimes the RPG-ness of the game kind of gets to me a little bit. Just because it's just a lot to think about. All the things you have to think about. Like, you don't have to think about it that hard. It's a fucking game. It's a politically incorrect fucking game. But
for 12-year-old white boys, white males.
Right. But, just like, again, thinking about what guns I have, going through them. Like, sometimes it could just be a little tedious, I guess. Or I get frustrated right now, especially when I'm not by a fucking ammo dump. And there is a gun on the ground that I fucking want.
That's the other thing.
And my inventory is full.
The vending machines are too far and few and far between.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to just drop this gun because I can get money for it if I sell it at the ammo dump. So, like, I don't know.
So, the reason why I'm only 22 and probably played 10 to 12 hours of it is because if I get halfway through a level and I see, or if I get all the way to the end and I start collecting shit and I see... I'm going to fill up my inventory, and there's only one goddamn vending machine section, and it's at the beginning of the level with the fast travel. I suck it up, and I fast travel back to it.
Yeah.
And then I fucking slog back through the level and pick up the other stuff.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is that if it's long enough, those enemies respawn, and I'm getting all that XP.
All that stuff. Yeah. But it's great, man. It's fun. Yeah. It is fun playing Borderlands again.
I find that the levels that have multiple vending machine sections are the ones that don't need it because they're the ones that have vehicles that are accessible to get through the entire level.
Yeah.
And then the levels that are huge that are no vehicles on it, it's like, I wish there was another vending machine here.
I know. It's fun cheesing with vehicles too, like where you can. You know, like just like when you hit an area where the car can't go.
Yeah.
But you can get the guys to come. I mean, we used
full
to have
aggro,
all the time too. Yeah, fucking shake and bake in Borderlands. That's our version.
A vehicle that can get almost anywhere.
Oh no shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck.
Woo!
And is that something? It's just a matter of you have to find it and hijack.
No, it's a story mission.
Okay. That's awesome.
When you get to
so
Promethea.
It flies. Okay, it doesn't fly.
No.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you what it is.
No.
Okay.
I don't want to know.
It's dope. I love Borderlands. I have my issues with it. It's not a perfect game. It's better than Borderlands 2 incrementally. I understand why people are jumping off cliffs about that because it's 7 years and it's incrementally better. But the thing that I think would get Rick interested is, like I mentioned it to you the other night, is that everybody's saying it took no cues from like the Destinies and the Divisions and the games that are like that took the Borderlands formula and blew it out bigger. There is a lot of Destiny in this game. A lot of Destiny. There's a lot of puzzles. There's a lot of platforming, which is infinitely better because of the mantling. Oh, there's an accessibility option you need to change in the accessibility options.
Okay.
It's mantle holding forward. So you don't have to double tap jump. As long as you're holding forward and you jump.
Oh, nice. I
Woo!
should change that.
Man, is that a revelation.
Yeah, I like that. I feel you brought up puzzles for a second, and I think it was the same. It's the same one where I was just talking about where you have to shoot the guy in the ass and then find a secret spot or whatever. And I felt dumb. I'm like, okay, how do I get into that chamber? So I tried to butt stomp it or whatever. But they were talking to me, it's like, yeah, in this case, the solution is up. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to tell you. Shoot that water thing over there. And I'm just like, and it made me feel dumb. I'm like, fuck. I'm like,
you have to have an electric weapon, though. Because if you don't have an electric weapon, it doesn't close the circuit.
No, I don't think I have an electric weapon. Now, what I did was I shot this. No, you shot the water and it hits the cable that was broken.
Okay, so the way I did that was the broken cable is sitting on a puddle.
Yeah.
Also. So I shot that with an electric weapon.
Oh.
And there's multiple ways.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay, no. It is that it's in a puddle.
Yeah.
But I shoot something, so you don't have to have a weapon. There's something you can shoot above you that causes an electrical thing to happen.
Yeah, okay.
But I felt dumb. I'm like, will you shut the fuck up? Like, I felt like I was like, it's like
and did that happen to you with the butt stomp? Because there's a section later where you're butt stomping stuff in a side mission also.
I did.
Where Claptrap goes, maybe if you start from real high and jump down and hit this button.
Yeah. I think I knew right away what I was supposed to do, but I don't know. But it kind of feels like when, like some modern adventure games, you could turn on the handholdy, like, give me a hand, like, no, shut up, don't do that. But I realized it's not that big of a deal, and there's no way to shut that off, so it's fine.
So there's a lot of Destiny in this game. There's a thing I sought it out, because one of the streamers I watch, his name is Killer6. You guys should watch his Borderlands stuff. He's been streaming Borderlands for a long fucking time. And anytime I needed like a farming guide for Borderlands 2 or a boss strategy guide or best builds for characters guide, his videos were always the one I gravitated to. I would watch a bunch of them, but it was like, man, this guy just keeps making the content that I'm watching. So I subbed his channel a long time ago.
Yeah.
And there is some endgame stuff in Borderlands that is like right out of Destiny. Not raid stuff, Rick. Puzzle stuff. Big floating things in the sky that you have to solve a puzzle to unlock stuff.
That's funny. That's up his alley, because like puzzle stuff is always up my alley.
But that's one of the things he really liked about Destiny was that aspect.
Yeah.
And man, if you just want to mindlessly kill things, Rick.
Can you do that?
I mean, that's the
whole game
is mindlessly killing stuff.
Yeah, if you don't want to pay attention to the story, cool, man. If you just like that 30 seconds of fun, infinitely repeated, Borderlands fucking nails that.
So okay, that's something that I almost kind of feel like I've always had an issue with Borderlands is, you can complete a mission or whatever and it makes story progress. Mm-hmm. But sometimes, like, there's so much going on and you're shooting off a gun, sometimes you don't always catch what's being said. I feel like that's happened to me. Like, either I'm too far away from the actual characters or I'm too focused on something else. And it's like, well, I have the subtitles on, of course, but I'm focused on something else and I'm missing some stuff that's being said.
Here's how I counteract that. And this is something that I think you should do and everybody should do. Leave voice dialogue at 100.
And turn
sound effects and music down to about 60 or 70.
That is the problem.
And that's the way I do it.
Actually do.
Yeah. Because when you're far enough away, it comes up in your echo.
Right.
And so it's like it's right next to you.
Yeah.
And I've been playing the majority of this game with my headset on.
Really?
With the because I love that headset and I just love the way games feel and sound with that headset, and that's totally solved any problems I had with not being able to hear dialogue.
I don't do that because I don't know. I catch Annie getting sucked into watching me play games, and so I don't want to.
Well, this one's politically correct. She's not gonna like it. It's toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
anyway.
Totally.
So
yeah.
Anyway, I love Borderlands 3. Again, unless they fucking ruin the end game, which from what I've seen from Killer 6's stuff, like it just infinitely gets better. Second playthroughs and New Game Plus and all that stuff just gets better and better and better.
Yeah.
There's no raid bosses yet, and I think they're going to add that stuff. The first live event is coming, which is called the Bloody Harvest. And the thing I liked about Borderlands 2 is they had these things called Headhunter Packs, and that's where the first Bloody Harvest thing happened. It was a Halloween-themed event that came a year later.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a downloadable and an extra area of the map. This one takes an area of the map like Overwatch, skins it differently,
Oh, that's cool.
changes the boss, but it's timed. Paul Sage said it's only going to be up for about an hour and a half, and it launches late October. So
I mean, okay, so you'd have to be home, or
you have a month and a half, and then it's gone.
okay. Well, you said the time thing.
Yeah,
You said month, dude. I don't know.
Oh.
Did you say hour and a half
Month
at
and a
first?
half. I said
Okay.
month and a half.
All right.
So end of
That's why I
October,
threw me off. Like, you have an hour and a half.
month and a
That's
half. There's 2 guns, a shield, and a grenade mod that will only drop during this time frame. So I need to hurry and level a character to 50. So when I get those, I can put them in the bank and use them between characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
But man, I heard that and he said end of
That's-
October.
that's crazy.
And I was like, I only have a month to get to level 50, and that's plenty of time.
Yeah, you'll get there.
But I don't like with Borderlands and this. I don't like just binging it all the way through. Like I play for a couple hours at a time, and I take my time going through it. Like I know there's people that have all 4 characters completely maxed out at level 50 already.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not me. I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm gonna eventually get there, but not in a week. Like I didn't play 16 hours a day the first day. Like Greg Miller mentioned somebody he knows played that like 16 hours the first day.
Yeah, that's
and
crazy.
like got really close to the end game and got to almost max level the next day. And I was like, holy shit. I can't play games that way. I've never been able to play games that way. There's only a few games where I can sit down and play for more than 2 or 3 hours at a time. Borderlands being one of those franchises. So Uncharted.
Yeah, I know Boogie because he also had access to the game a little bit earlier too, but I know he and it's also his favorite. It's his favorite fucking.
Really?
Yeah,
cool.
That's his favorite game. Period. So like I think he's beat it twice in some situations.
Nice. Awesome.
And, yeah, all kinds of stuff.
So I'm looking real forward to getting to that end game stuff and those timed events, and I wish they were DLC packs, because like the Headhunter packs were like $3 a piece, and there was like 6 or 7 of them, and like there was a Thanksgiving themed one, a Valentine's Day themed one, a Christmas themed one, and a Halloween themed one, and there was some other ones too. I can't remember, but I bought all those also.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited about those events.
I am too.
Once
That'll
they're
be
gone,
cool.
they're gone. I'm sure they'll come back the next year, maybe.
Yeah, I totally heard hour and a half. I'm like, what if I'm not home? Like, I was like, that's crazy.
Hitman did that. Remember with the primary targets or whatever
did
were,
they?
or the elusive targets, where you have 2 days to do this, and you get 1 run at it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
So yeah, I'm excited for all that stuff. I can't wait to get to Endgame. I'm exciid to play with you,
Yeah.
both in a new game and I want to try.
Yeah, we'll try it
that
out.
other
We'll try it
kind
out. We'll try it
of- the
out.
cooperative mode stuff, and like I said, I think Rick would really enjoy it,
Yeah.
especially the stuff I know he loves about Destiny. That's all here, man. It's all here.
Okay.